Hey, Shalom. First, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakwakadash, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, who has taught me this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the I came across the four corners of the earth who teach this truth. And we're like to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Low only videos edifying. Low only I can get something from this video. Hey, basically, this is going to be about, man, I had a conversation the other day. With a person, he looks like he might be a Hamite. He's from Central Africa. I think he's from the Congo. And those, Hamites dwelling, over there, East and Central. I mean, you got Jakes spread all throughout, you know what I mean? But I believe this man was a Hamite, and I had walked past him, right? Because I guess he claimed he a Christian or whatever. And I walked past him, I'm like, hey, man, what kind of sandwich is that? And he was like, oh, it's a ham sandwich or whatever. And I was like, okay. I said, man, I said, are you Muslim? Or he was like, no, I'm Christian or whatever. I said, you're not supposed to eat, according to the Bible, you know what I mean? You're not supposed to eat what you're eating. And he was like, well, that's your interpretation, and I wasn't really getting on him, but that's the majority of the world's excuse. That's the majority of the world's comeback. When you start teaching somebody the scriptures and I didn't get into it long with him. You know what I mean? I just, I gave him, some scriptures. If he a heathen, he ain't gonna get it anyway. You know what I mean? But, he has some heathenistic action. You know what I mean? When I told him, he was like, well, that's your interpretation. And then he said, because when you go to it, right, in Leviticus, let's go to it real quick. All right. This is Leviticus 11:7. It says, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Right? And I read that for him. And he was like, well, it says it's unclean. Don't say not to eat it. Right? And I was just like, what do you mean, man? Like, well, if it's unclean, did the Lord want you to eat it? You know what I mean? And he was like, well, that's your interpretation. And, I would I wasn't really getting on him, because, if he a heathen, fuck him. But, you said that Jake have the same response. Jake has the same, majority of Jake, especially these church-going Jake, they have the same response, and they say, oh, you're reading it out of context, you this and that, this and that, this and that. But yet, they won't read it in context. You know what I mean? Or they won't combat or prove otherwise. Here it is. We ready to debate our cause, right? Or defend the gospel, right? And these so-called people or these so-called Christians, right? They don't, they're not ready to defend the gospel because it's not in them to do so. To be honest with you, I had a, zeal. I really wanted to slap the shit out of him when he said what he said, but, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, you know what I mean? And I just ended up giving them, some scriptures and I walked away. You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever, man, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But it made me mad because the majority of our people, again, have the same fucking response. It's like they don't fear the Lord, nor do they believe in the Lord. You know what I mean? They think that, see, the so-called white man has fooled you to think that the Lord is, soft, or the Lord is blonde hair, blue eyed, and you know what I mean, he's timid. No. Actually, he's the exact opposite. He's far from timid. He's far from soft. You know what I mean? This is a man's, this is the definition of a man. You know what I mean? The Lord. Yahweh Shai is the definition of a righteous man. The definition of a true Israelite man. You understand? And when he come back, he gonna be kicking ass. You know what I mean? You can read that in Isaiah. You know what I mean? I think it's 63. Matter of fact, it says, Isaiah 63:1, it says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, right? Which your modern day Basra is America. It said, because this is where Edom dwells. This is the, the dwelling place of Esau. This is where Esau get down. This is his, forefront, so to speak. You know what I mean? It says, with thy garments from Basra. Basra was it originally is a city in Edom. You know what I mean? It says, but this is talking about America, because it says that, who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Basra, right? Which is talking about now. It's not talking about back then. It says this that is a glory, because the Lord hasn't returned yet. It says this that is glorious, and when he returns, the main deliverance is where? Babylon, which is aka America. Okay, aka Basra, aka Sodom, aka Egypt. Okay, it says that this is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. And when you can read that, when he travels in the greatness of his strength, I did a video on that. You can read that in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. It says, and it gives you a detailed breakdown of what Ezra saw in a vision. It says, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. I'm going to go down. It says, matter of fact, this is 3. It says, I've trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I would tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, which means it's going to be a lot of killing going on, man. It says, and I will stain all my remnant, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeem is come. That don't sound like no soft power to me. Okay? That don't sound like that. That don't sound like no pushover to me. Okay? It's Isaiah 65:2. It says, I have spread out my hands. And I wanted to get this, you know what I mean, because it gives you a direct example of how our people are. Okay, it says, Isaiah 65:2, it says, I have spread out my hands all the day until rebellious people. Indeed, who's more rebellious than Israel? When you go to Baruch, the 2nd chapter, it tells you they're stiff-necked. Stiff-necked people. It says, which walketh in a way that was not good after their own thoughts. So this is why when you get to explaining certain things to them, as far as the scriptures, right, they'll combat you and say, well, that's your interpretation, right? I don't believe that part or this part or that part. Like, they pick and choose what they want to believe in the scriptures, and that's totally against the scriptures. You can't pick and choose what you want to believe in the scriptures. You're going to believe the whole book or you're not. You understand? It says 3, it says, and we're willingly break it down to you. We will willingly break it down to you. It says, the people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificeth in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves, and lodge in the monuments, which eats swine's flesh and broth of abominable things in their vessels. It says, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me. And this is what they say with their actions. Okay? It says, for I am holier than thou, And that's kind of like the persona he was giving off, but that's the persona our people give off, especially these church-going niggas, man. It says, these are smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day. And that's what the Lord compare you heathen-minded Israelites, as, these are smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day. Okay, you ever got smoke in your nose, man? You know what I'm saying? It's 6, it says, behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense, even recompense into their bosom. Okay? It says, your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, saith the Lord Yahweh, which have burned incense upon the mountains and blasphemed me upon the hills. Therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. Now check this out. This is 8. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, as the new wine is found in a cluster, and one said, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. So will I do for my servants' sakes, and that I may not destroy them all. And the servants of the Lord is the elect in the 1/3, man, which is 144,000 and the 1/3. Okay? Of Israelites, not of heathen, not of Ham, not of Edom, not of, even though we got, brothers who look like, heathens, you know what I mean? But the Spirit bears witness, right? But this is only for Israel, okay? It says, 9, it says, and I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there, okay? It says, all right, 12, it says, therefore will I number you to the sword. I'll go to 10, it says 11. It's like it says, I'll go to 11, it says, but ye are They that forsake the Lord Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for the troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Right? Because when I called, you did not answer. So when the Lord has called, when the Lord uses his men to call, whether it's on the highways and byways, whether you are fortunate enough to meet brothers in person, or whether you come in and get your questions answered, right? Because the Lord works through men. Okay, it says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. And you guys do evil, okay, and you justify it. Yeah. 13, it says, 13, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat. So on the time, because you got a time coming where it's going to be a famine, for bread, you know what I mean? But scriptures say that the Lord's servants is going to eat. You people can't expect to eat if you don't have any works. Come on, man. It says, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Right? And you're going to wish you would have had some fucking works. Not fucking works like it, but you're going to wish you'd have had some works, before that time come. You know what I mean? Because the only thing you could fall on, is your works. You know what I mean? And faith. You know what I mean? But faith without works is dead. Okay? It's 15, it says, and ye shall leave your, nah, that's not, I got the point. Yeah, I got the point. Yeah, I got the point. You know what I mean? And, I gave him some of these scriptures too. You know what I mean? And just to, I doubt he read them. You know what I mean? It's not for him anyway. You know what I mean? So, but hey, he was told, it is what it is. And majority of our people, it was told and it's told. You know what I mean? So, with him, if you're a heathen, the law doesn't pertain to him anyway. So he can do what the fuck he want to do. But in the kingdom, he going to have to abide by our rule according to, or he going to have to abide by the Lord's law, according to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. Okay? So, yeah, man, just, quick video. Lord willing, the video is edifying. Lord willing, I got something from this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Rakakadash. I want to tell you, brothers, keep pushing on to the next Shalom.